So you're thinking it's time to sell your house, and maybe you're considering doing some home improvements to increase the value and maybe the appeal of your home. Well, you aren't going to want to miss out on today's video, where I'm going to talk to you about 3 projects that you don't want. Yeah, you heard that right. You don't want to make these home projects because they do not add that high rate of return you may be looking for. Maybe you've been watching HGTV, or maybe you like some of the home projects you've seen on Instagram or maybe TikTok, and you've said to yourself, that doesn't look very hard. I think I can do that. Well, if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, you may want to talk to us before you decide to do any of those home improvements. Little known fact, Stefan and I used to actually own a home flipping company, and we learned where you should spend your hard-earned money to get your best return on your investment. You won't want to miss out on these 3 home improvements that we talk about today that don't add value to your home. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Hey everybody, my name is Lesley Gleason, along with my husband Stefan. We are local real estate agents here in the Shenandoah Valley and Charlottesville areas of Virginia. And if this is your first time to our channel, hey, welcome. We are so happy you found us. We would really appreciate it if you would pause right now and tap that subscribe button as well as that bell icon so you don't miss any future episodes of Virginia Mountain to Valley Living. We do post a couple of videos each week sharing what our lives are like as we feature the cities, festivals, places to eat, and places to go here in our beautiful valley. Okay, so you're thinking it's time to get your house ready to sell, but before we swing any hammers, move any walls, or decide to do anything crazy, we're going to need to talk about what improvements you do not want to make to turn off any potential buyers. Your goal isn't to improve your house to your taste. It is to help the next owner picture your home as their dream home. Let's start by talking about the first project I don't want you to do, and that is swimming pools. That swimming pool you think that is going to improve the value of your house. So, fun fact number 2 today. When Stefan and I bought our current home, there was an above-ground swimming pool in the backyard, complete with a beautiful wraparound deck. We saw it had been on the market for a while, and we kind of knew what one of the reasons were. The pool. We just didn't want the expense or maintenance. Plus, neither one of us liked to swim, actually. But Stefan suggested we take a look at it anyways, and that we could always take it down if we decided we didn't like it. We kept it up for a couple of years, actually, but honestly, I got in it maybe a few times each summer, and Stefan got in it even less. We were tired of the winterizing and all the time it took to maintain that pretty water we never got into. Plus, unless you have a heater for your pool, that water doesn't get very warm around here. We just don't have a long enough swimming season for us to really justify the expense. So we took it down, sold it on Facebook Marketplace. So let's talk about if you are a buyer who likes swimming here. I really would encourage you, if you like swimming, there are other options that you can look at, such as neighborhood community pools all over the valley. You get all the benefits of splashing around in it in the summertime without all the upkeep. So if you are a buyer looking at a house with a pool and you don't want it, there's always the possibility of selling it. If you're a buyer who does like swimming but doesn't want the maintenance, I really do recommend that you look into the community pools and some of the neighborhoods that we have around here that do have a pool. All right, let's move on to number 2, and that is highly personal redesigns. You may love unique looks, you may think really bold colors are awesome, or let's say you love wallpaper and you put it everywhere. As my kids say, I'm gonna need you to calm down there. I love that you love bold colors and wallpaper. I love that you love unique cabinet knobs and emerald green bathrooms. But I am going to need you to think about how these choices are going to really narrow down your pool of buyers. Your custom choices are going to have fewer people picturing themselves living there. All they are going to be thinking about is how many things they are going to have to redo or the costs that are involved. I mean, we agents used to think it's just paint and paint is cheap. Okay, let's price out a gallon of paint. Have you priced out a gallon of paint lately? And if your colors are super bold, we're going to have to include coating those bold colors with some kills before we can even repaint. So let's avoid bold colors and super personalized trims and fixtures and go for more of a neutral and bright theme. Now, I'm not talking painting everything gray. Those days are over. Just something that is light and makes the house look clean. Those win every time. And honestly, here is another local note. If you do own a home around Stanton maybe, or maybe an older charming house in Waynesboro, I really encourage you to keep the charm and character that comes with these homes. Many of them have built-ins and other unique features that are well worth keeping, but I do encourage you to neutralize your paint palette and maybe update that lighting so your photos pop online. All right, let's move on to that third renovation you should not do. And that is going to be room conversions that reduce flexibility. And here is why I want you to skip this. I do not recommend you turn a bedroom into maybe a permanent theater room, your garage into a gym, or your dining room into a recording studio. If you have these things in your house, we're going to talk about undoing those things. I don't want you to not live in your home. Don't get that idea. I don't want you to not live in it. You may have to be comfortable living in the space that you live in, but I will encourage you to undo those things when we go to sell your home. I've seen it backfire on sellers too many times, and here's why. Buyers value bedroom count, parking their car in the garage. If you have a flexible space, they really like those flexible spaces too. If you remove those, you shrink your pool of buyers and may even hurt a buyer's appraisal. Here is what you could do instead. Keep the function, stage the vibe. Let me say that again. So keep the function and stage the vibe. And here is what I mean by that. Maybe you want a home theater. Well, keep the bedroom, but stage it with a projector and blackout curtains and cozy chairs. But the space can easily revert back to a bedroom. Protect that garage. If you need a gym, make it temporary. Think rubber mats, not permanent flooring, and think freestanding racks for your weights, not built-ins. Maybe you have an unfinished loft or maybe a bonus space. I want you to think about adding a legit bedroom, of course with proper egress, and make sure it has heat and air. I've seen a lot of folks use mini splits and they do this well, but do it right. If you need to get permits to do these improvements, please make sure you get them. Another idea is to stage that unfinished space as maybe a home office or a playroom, making sure it is easy to convert it into a legitimate bedroom in the future. So let me add this last little local note. Appraisers and buyers in our market, they pay attention to bedroom count and square footage that has been permitted by the city. If it's not permitted or it's oddly converted, an appraiser might not give you credit for it. So we have talked about 3 things to not do to your home if you are thinking about selling it. There are several other things we could discuss, and if you want me to discuss those, please comment below. If you have an idea of doing some renovations to your house, please comment, send me a text, shoot me an email, and ask me if I think that's a good idea. So if you have a question about your house and your project that you're thinking about doing, I really do encourage you to pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. All of our information is in the description below this video. Let's talk about it, what you are thinking about doing, and see if it's something you can do or it's something you shouldn't do. To wrap all of this up, let's talk about the pre-list, do this instead checklist that I have. So what does help you sell your home faster and for a stronger price? Let's talk about that. I've been negative enough today. All right, number 1, tackle repairs first. If you have leaks or loose handrails, fogged windows, GFCIs, fix the stuff that the buyers and their inspectors will flag. Number 2, paint and patch. Neutral, bright, one color flows. Okay, it just flows through your house. Touch up your trim and baseboards. Number 3, good lighting makes for good photos. And one of my pet peeves is light bulbs that don't match. Have you ever walked into a home that has maybe canned lights and some of them are yellow and some of them are LED bulbs? Let's keep them warm and matching temperatures. Let's think about 2,700 to 3,000 type of range. Number 4, let's deep clean. I mean, buyers walk into your house and they notice it's dirty. So deep clean and declutter. It is all about the photos. I want to see your closets half full. I want to see clear counters. I want to see tidy garages. Think if it won't look good in the photos, I'm going to want you to store it. All right, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is curb appeal. And this is a buyer's first impression when they drive up to your house. Nothing appeals to a buyer more than to see fresh mulched, edged flower beds, trimmed shrubs, and pressure washed walkways and siding. A new doormat and house numbers that are clean and clear is also a bonus when a buyer drives up to your house. All right, number 6, minor, and I did say minor kitchen bath refresh. Think new hardware, a faucet, updated mirror and lighting. Maybe add a simple backsplash. It is amazing how matching and solid colored towels and shower curtains can really dress up your space. You don't have to do a full gut job to your bathroom or your kitchen to get a good return on your investment. Now, moving on to number 7. Service big systems and have your receipts ready. I encourage you to put them in a file box to share with any new buyer. This is for your HVAC service, your chimney sweep, your well and septic maintenance, where that is applicable, of course. Buyers love maintenance records. Number 8, consider a pre-list consult. Call me. We'll walk through and point the things out that matter most in your price range and in your neighborhood. And finally, when does a renovation make sense? If your home is missing a must-have for your area, say there's no laundry room on the main level or the bedroom level, or the front steps are unsafe, these items might be worth addressing. But the rule of thumb before selling is spend small, win big. I want you to spend your money small, and I want you to win big on the presentation and maintenance, not on major custom projects. If you're thinking about selling, though, in the Charlottesville or in the Shenandoah Valley, and you're wondering what to do and what not to do, invite me over to your house for a quick ROI walkthrough. I'll bring a checklist tailored to your house and to your neighborhood so you don't waste a dollar on projects that aren't going to get you a good return on your investment. Let us know, though, if you would like that, and we would be happy to do it. But I hope you found today's video helpful. If you would like to hear some other projects that you don't want to do or some projects that you should do when selling your house, let me know. But until next time, I'll see you around town.